Good morning. Welcome to Trails End Farm. If you like this video, be so kind as to hit that like button and maybe even subscribe. It would help me out, and you may even feel better about yourself. And if you don't, I'll understand. Today we're going to make a video about a smoker that I built here about 8-10 months ago. I needed to test it out to make sure I did everything right. Got to give a shout out to a good man by the name of Alan Tubbs. He runs Alan's Welding on YouTube. You need to look that guy up. He is amazing. The man is an architect, a designer, an engineer, a welder, a fabricator, all rolled into one. The way he can simplify building these units is just amazing. This is the one that I copied off of his YouTube channel, and with his instruction I managed to muddle through it. It's built out of 3/16 plate, weighs in it right at about 310 pounds. And yes, those wheels that you see at the bottom, no, they're just for aesthetics. It would take a team of men to run this thing around, and you're not about to roll it anywhere. We used a front end loader with chains and ropes and everything else to set it on these pads. It is built to last several generations. We've used it here over the last 6 or 8 months, and pretty good results. Let me show you what it consists of. First of all, right here, this is part of the secret as to what makes this thing so fantastic. It's a collection box. A lot of these barbecue pits and smokers just have a single pipe, or like this one has square tubing coming right out of the top. What that does is concentrate all the heat and smoke in one area, and you end up with getting substandard barbecue or substandard smoked meat. This collection box makes sure that the heat and smoke is evenly transferred over all the grills from one end to the other. Really makes a difference. It's got a baffle on top, or a damper. I put a little remote control on it so you wouldn't have to reach up there and burn your fingers and whatever else, get your hands dirty by opening and closing it. Comes in really handy. If you'll notice, I've got 2 thermometers on here. Why is that? Well, they tell you that you're getting an even transmission of heat, or even distribution of heat across the whole grill. The welding, if you'll notice, my eyes are getting a little bad, and I use a MIG welder, but, well, it just isn't as nice as it used to be. Let me show you the inside of this. I've got 2 grills, slide out, and when they slide out, they stay. I put a little stop. Well, Mr. Tubbs showed me how to do that. Put a little stop on both sides so you can pull your meat out and put some barbecue sauce or butter or whatever you want to put on there, flavoring. And it's got 2, so you can put quite a bit of meat in here. In the bottom, don't know if you can see it, but there's a plate. I've got a water pan sitting on top. There's a plate that evenly distributes the smoke and heat coming out of the opening from the firebox. It really helps a lot. Let me close this up a little bit again. I've got stays on here that keep that lid closed. That way you don't have to you don't waste any smoke or heat, and everything comes out pretty even. If you'll notice, down at the bottom there's a propane tank. Now, why would a propane tank be on a smoker? Well, I'm about to show you. By the way, this regulator and the stainless steel reinforced hose, the orifice, threaded in, everything you can buy at Academy. The whole thing comes in one unit. It runs about $24, and it is worth it because if you go to a propane company, they will soak you. On the end where this hose is connected, that is a 3/4 inch end cap. I've got 4 holes drilled in it. That works as a Valeri to mix the air and the gas. On this end, it's 3/4 inch. On the inside, I've reduced it down to 1/2 inch. The burner itself is a 1/2 inch pipe that has 1/8 inch holes drilled from one end to the other. And I'll show you that in a minute. The Firebox is a little different from most. It has a what's called a coal box, where your wood or charcoal or whatever you use to barbecue or smoke with sits in that Firebox. That makes it real handy because the wood and the heat doesn't come in direct contact with the bottom of the Firebox. That is usually where they start to burn out. Wood ash, hang on a minute, let me pull this out. Wood ash and water or moisture creates an acidic substance similar to sodium hydroxide, which for you chemists out there, that's lye. Lye will eat the bottom of these things out in no time at all. And it's best if you don't leave your ashes in the Firebox any more than you absolutely have to after you've finished barbecuing or smoking and the unit is cool. The Firebox has got, or the coal box, I put a couple of tabs up here, one on each side, so when you pull the coal box out, it stays there. You can add more charcoal or wood or whatever you want to put in there. And I've got a couple of slides on the inside made of 1.5 inch angle iron. Now you might say, well, where's the burner? Let me show you. I put this piece of 2x2 by 1/8 inch angle iron over the burner, so when you're using this, the ashes don't fall out on top of the burner. The burner is a piece of 1/2 inch galvanized pipe. I like using galvanized because, well, it doesn't rust, and you don't have to worry about the rust clogging up the holes. It runs the length of the Firebox. Those holes are 1/8 inch, and they're drilled every 1 inch apart. And they're drilled at a 45-degree angle for 2 reasons. One, to keep the ashes that do fall in here from not directly going into the holes, but to also spread the flame out. It takes about 5, maybe 6 minutes, and your charcoal or your wood is ready to use. You don't have to use chemicals or newspapers or anything like that. It'll give a bad taste to your meat. Now, you ask, how in the world am I going to clean that thing out? Well, there's another thing, and there's a little variation from what Mr. Tubbs did. What I did is I bent the bottom of this Firebox to make like a belly. And then I cut out a 2-inch slot, and in the belly of that 2-inch slot, I slid a piece of 3/16 plate or bar. And what it does is, as you pull it out, all you have to do is put a pan underneath and sweep out all the ash and wood particles out into the bottom. Makes it really easy for cleaning it out. And what I do is, once I have my wood in full blaze, I slide this back, well, of course turn the gas off, slide that back over the burner, and the ash that comes out of the coal box just falls off the side and it doesn't clog up the burner. Now, on the end, we have another damper. And of course, if you notice, I put springs on all my handles so you don't burn yourself. And you can control your in or your inlet air like you control your outlet air by these 2 baffles. One here and one at the top. And My son-in-law uses this quite a bit, and he claims that it stays at a perfect 220 degrees, and it stays that way for hours. And when you add more wood to it or more charcoal, all you have to do is open or close those vents, and the temperature in the smoke box stays perfectly at a desirable temperature, which is somewhere between 212 and 225, depending on what you like. I put a grease trap underneath. What it is a little bucket. Put a 1.5 inch ball valve, and all your drippings and everything comes right out of there, so you don't have it laying in the bottom of the smoke box. We put a 1 foot little shelf here to put your pans or your utensils, and then welded these little hooks on the side. As you can see, I've got it for my striker and utensils, and later we'll put our forks and spatulas or whatever else we need to work this meat with. So all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. I'll be able to pass this on to my grandchildren. It's that well built. And like I said, I got to give another shout out to this man, Alan Tubbs of Allen's Welding. Look him up. He is just fantastic. I've never seen anybody simplify the construction of one of these units, and so many other things too. I've got a Santa Maria grill that sits right next to it, and I'll show you that in the next video because it's going to be a little bit more detailed. But it turned out fantastic as well. So, in summation, may the good Lord take a liking to you, and I hope you have a better week next week. Hope everything turns out all right. Pray for our country. Pray for our leaders, whether you like him or not. He's still there. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you will. It'll help me out. I'm kind of new to YouTube. So, and I am an amateur. I don't know how to manipulate the I'm learning. I don't know how to manipulate the videos or how to splice them together or anything like that, edit. But I would imagine in a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, I'll learn eventually. So I appreciate you watching, and be kind to one another. Like I said before, if they don't like it, they'll just get mad and leave you alone, and it'll be a win-win for both of you. You have a good week. God bless. Take care. Be safe, people.